Welcome back to Figs Talks Fights. I'm Brian Figueredo. Today we're going to get into UFC 258 with your headliner being your welterweight champion Kamaru Usman defending his title against former teammate Gilbert Burns. So let's get right into it. Look, the storyline's been overplayed, so let's just do a quick review here, okay? Gilbert Burns, Kamaru Usman, former teammates. Still are teammates, okay? Usman's just in another camp right now. Grudge MMA in Denver, Colorado, led by none other than Trevor Whitman. But these guys are both from Sanford MMA in Florida, run by Henry Hooft. And this camp has evolved since I think they formed as the Black Zillions back in the 2013-2014 era under Glenn Robinson. He originally formed the camp. Rest in peace, Glenn Robinson. Okay, both these guys are managed by Ali Abdelaziz. Okay, which pretty much this guy, I don't know, top 50 money makers in the business are run by Ali or managed by Ali Abdelaziz. But anyhow, off to the point. Look, it's been overplayed. These guys probably know each other inside and out. Usman's helped corner Burns before. These guys help each other get ready for fights. They're literally going in, training against each other to pick at their weak spots in order to sharpen each other's iron. Okay? So moving on to it, I mean, they have a lot of insight to each other, but how do these guys match up besides that? Look, Kamaru Usman is 17-1. Gilbert Burns is 19-3. Kamaru Usman may be 12-0 in the UFC, but Gilbert Burns, I don't know how the hell he used to make 155 pounds if he put on a peg leg just to make the weight and then popped his original one back on. All poor jokes aside, I mean, was a big guy at 155 pounds. Okay, had a couple of great fights down there, looked awesome, fell in love with his hands, and then ran into a guy named, I don't know, Dan the Hangman Hooker, who's not killing himself to get to 155 like Burns was. You know, got a little chinny, or, you know, Hooker just put it on him. Either or, he's come up to 170 pounds. He's looked phenomenal since then, okay? In the wrestling department, pretty obvious. You got to give it to Kamaru Usman, okay? The former Division II. And I get, you know, the whole Colby Covington D2 scrub. Look, Colby Covington trolling us all, even making his way trolling in this video. But still, Kamaru Usman is a high-level wrestler with 100% takedown defense in the UFC, meaning that guy's ass has not touched the canvas in the UFC. What an incredible feat to make it all the way to the championship, nonetheless. But anyhow, Gilbert Burns, he's coming off a hot streak himself, knocking out Demian Maia. And I'm not talking about like a good TKO. I mean, that left hook he caught him with planted Demian Maia's right on his ass, put him out. Wow, what an incredible statement. And then coming off of the Tyron Woodley fight that he had last June. Now, these guys were originally scheduled for International Fight Week, the original Fight Island fight, I believe July of 2020, okay? Forget the date that it was on. But anyhow, Gilbert Burns tested positive for COVID. Jorge Masvidal stepped in. It was a not memorable fight, and a lot of people shit on Kamaru Usman in that fight, you know, holding him up against the fence, grappling with him, taking him down, controlling him. I guess the foot stomps pissed a lot of people off. Maybe not Matt Serra, if you remember him back in the day. Those foot stomps are pretty good. But anyhow, look, Kamaru Usman brought his game to that fight. What the hell do you want him to do? Start trading bombs with Jorge Masvidal? Most of you probably do, okay? It would have made an entertaining fight, but it would have been stupid if he would have got knocked out by Masvidal. Everybody go, wow, how dumb was Kamaru Usman for trading shots with him, giving him the only chance, giving Masvidal the only chance to win the fight. Look, brilliant performance by him. It was a shutout. Great. Could Masvidal have done better off of more than a week notice and actually in a training camp? Of course he would have. Would have changed the outcome of the fight? Remains to be seen, but I doubt it. But moving forward, look, these guys on the feet, I'm going to have to give the advantage to, I'm going to nullify it. I think Kamaru Usman is more of a tighter puncher, stays nice and long, okay? Gilbert Burns is more of a, you know, I don't want to compare him to Mike Tyson, but if you had to draw a comparison with boxers, I mean, Usman's got more of that Tommy Hearns long style, and Gilbert Burns is more like in and out, shuffling in to throw those heavy shots a la Mike Tyson. No, they're not Tommy Hearns or Mike Tyson. It's just an analogy or an example, okay? Look, I think Gilbert Burns has more power in his hands, okay? What he did to Damian Maia and how he's hurt and sat down some of these guys on his punches, you can just tell he's got that big brick, strong core strength, been doing jiu-jitsu and grappling since a teenager. Trust me, these guys are stronger than they look as soon as you start rolling with them, okay? Now, Usman, like I said, he likes to stay long. These guys know each other's secrets. If they start scrambling on the ground, I mean, we're going to find out. I mean, Gilbert Burns, he's not the technician off of his back, but I mean, per se, a situation where Usman gets on top of him, he can't find any complacency here. He's got to remain his posture in tight, land his shots, and either pass, land his ground and pound, or get the hell out of there, because Burns has some slick transitions to take the back, and once he gets control of you, especially in any kind of a grappling exchange, I mean, both these guys' control is great, but I mean, Burns is the alligator or the crocodile that's just going to snap and drown you, okay? Usman is more like that, I don't know, we'll call him a grizzly bear or something like that, somebody that's more controlling and pounce on you, all right? Sorry for the terrible analogies. We're moving forward here, all right? As far as the takedown department, you got to give it to Usman, but I don't know if he wants to play that game with Gilbert Burns based on what I just mentioned. And in the clinch department, we're going to find out. I think positionally, Usman will be the better guy. But I mean, Burns, like I said, he's just got that gorilla strength to him. So we're going to find out. Now, Burns is a 3-1 underdog in this fight. I think he's a live dog. Now, even if Usman got the better of training on Gilbert Burns every single session in, look, Gilbert Burns just needs one shot. One shot. He needs to be hungrier tomorrow and go for it. Put the pedal to the metal and just go for it. This can change his life and set up his family for the rest of their lives, okay? There's a reason why these teammates have agreed to fight each other. Now, interesting that Kamaru Usman has gone to Grudge MMA in Denver, Colorado to train for this bout under Trevor Whitman. Look, if a genie popped out of a freaking bottle and said, look, you can go hold pads with anybody right now, Trevor Whitman has to be on the short list. This guy, he does a tremendous job with his athletes, and he is really picking at the nuances, making sure that your feet are in the right place to throw strikes, not get hit, and make sure you get the most of your strike. There's a big difference between just throwing a big cross from somebody, turning your hips over, stepping into it, all that great stuff, and actually finding the positions where your opponent is the most vulnerable to land said shots, and you're not in danger. And this is a game of millimeters, inches, whatever the hell you want to call it. And Trevor Whitman, I think there's no coincidence that Usman decided to go to this camp, especially being with friends and having a mentor like Rashad Evans, who spent time at Grudge MMA himself, knowing that the department where he's going to have the highest success rate against Burns is probably on the feet, and Whitman is maybe going to be the guy to show us tomorrow a masterful performance by Kamaru, led by Trevor Whitman, or, like I said, Gilbert Burns is a live dog. Boom, and it might be all over. We're gonna find out. Look, other notes on this fight card. Maycee Barber is returning since her loss to Roxanne Modafferi at UFC 256. She blew her knee out in that fight. Roxanne Modafferi got the win. Look, she's fighting Alexa Grasso. She's also a big favorite in this fight, and she's just trekking ahead, aiming for Valentina Shevchenko. She's only 22 years old, wants to get the belt before John Jones did at 23 years old and beat his record being the youngest champion. Good luck, Maycee Barber. Look, Maycee Barber is a hell of a talent. She's got heavy hands, and Alexa Grasso is probably going to oblige to strike. But Alexa Grasso, that tough Mexican style that she brings to it, I mean, this is no walk in the park for Maycee Barber. Maybe I'm wrong, but I am very hesitant to start saying, hey, let's fast track this girl. Valentina Shevchenko is no joke. Okay, outside of Amanda Nunes, she would by far be the pound for pound greatest female mixed martial artists, athletes there is. But unfortunately, she's in the Amanda Nunes era, okay? So Macy Barber, let's work our way up there. Other great fights on the card. You got Kelvin Gastelum coming off a three-fight losing streak, against Ian Heinisch. Look, this is a crossroads fight for Kelvin Gastelum, but I mean, he lost to Adesanya, then Darren Till, and then Jack Hermanson. Okay, we're talking about losing to top-notch competition. But I mean, if he wants to be the guy to go after the title, if he can't get through the top 3, 4, or 5, I mean, it's a long road ahead. But Ian Heinisch, no joke, I think he's the slicker grappler of the two of them. I'll give Kelvin Gastelum the wrestling and positional edge, but Kelvin Gastelum has hands for days. I'm excited for this fight. Let's see how the hell it pulls off, okay? Now, speaking of pulling out, Bobby Green, Jim Miller, I'm damn excited for this fight, but I ain't getting my hopes up. Apparently, Bobby Green, after he made weight, collapsed backstage. A little scary. Hopefully he's all right, but these tough weight cuts, what the hell are we going to do to solve the problem? We still haven't figured it out. We got the early weigh-ins. We know one championship, they claim they figured out how to solve the weight cutting problem, but according to their athletes and speculations, a bunch of bullshit. Some guy weighs in the room, yeah, good enough. I'm not saying that's a fact, but that's what the word on the street is. So I don't think one championship has solved it. How are we going to do this? We going to move weight classes up 10 pounds? Everybody stays the same? It's just 10 pounds less to cut? I don't know. That sounds like a terrible idea because a bunch of people would probably just drop down the next weight class and everybody would shift down. So I don't know. If you got great ideas, don't bring it to me. I ain't got no control over this shit. But I mean, tweet at the people that do. You do that Twitter crap. But anyhow, last final note on this, okay? Kamaru Usman, if he wins tomorrow night, will officially surpass George St. Pierre on his winning streak. George St. Pierre has a winning streak of 12 fights in the welterweight division. And that's where Kamaru Usman is sitting right now. Look, I may be a big St. Pierre fan, but we got to call it how it is. These two streaks are not even close to being the same. First of all, Kamaru Usman started off, I think, by winning the Ultimate Fighter. Okay, I think that was season... I can't even remember the number. Season 18 or 19, something like that. It was the Black Zillions versus the ATT. Okay, and he has gone through some decent competitors, but half of his streak isn't even against ranked opponents. Okay, I mean, he started facing tougher competition when he ran into Emil Mech, and then you start facing the Damian Maias of the world. Now we're getting serious. Rafael Dos Anjos, of course, Tyron Woodley. What a beast to dethrone Tyron Woodley at that time. Colby Covington, Jorge Masvidal. These are great names. I'm not taking anything away from Kamaru Usman. But think about this. George St. Pierre's streak, the 12-fight win streak, only one of them was a non-title fight to Josh Koscheck, I believe, at UFC 74 back in 2007. Other than that, this is all title fight wins. How in the fuck can you say that this guy's 13-fight winning streak is going to surpass somebody who's on an 11-fight winning streak in title fights? Come on, people. Regardless, a hell of a feat in the modern-day welterweight division to get 13 wins in a row if Kamaru Usman pulls it off. But damn, let's call a spade a spade, a heart a heart, whatever the hell. Anyhow, never mind me fumbling my words. If you like what the hell I had to say here, though, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, come back next time, and until then,